Ben, welcome to Brisbane and thank you for sharing today.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure and my honor to be able to be here this morning. Such a great day, beautiful people, and the presence of God was really here this morning.
Ben, and I don't want you to share this testimony now, but you shared an amazing testimony about your family. You want to just give some little bits because they're going to want to watch the full testimony online. But tell us a bit about that.
Basically, I was talking about how our church got started, and we have a new name for it. It's an accidental church. But we know that nothing is by accident or by coincidence. It was all by God's grace and God's plan. But I told a story about how our family came to Christ, how my sister was miraculously healed from a tumor in her womb, and how she was murdered, died, and then came back to life.
Which is just, when I first heard it yesterday and again today, I just thought this is electric. And you must watch it. It's just incredible. Ben, what I love about you is you're a pastor.
Yes.
You're a business person.
Yes.
You want to invade the country.
Not from that sounds wrong.
Not from an Indonesian invading Australia.
Asian invasion.
Asian invasion. But from a Christian point of view. Tell us a bit about your church. Tell us a bit about your business. Tell us a bit about your heart.
Well, I'm a person who wears many hats because I do not put myself into a box, but I just see myself as a servant of the Lord Jesus Christ. I'm a kingdom person. I'm a soldier of Christ. I'm multi-skilled, so I do whatever it takes to actually take back territory from the enemy, because the enemy has invaded our earth, our society, and our people, and they come to steal, kill, and destroy. But we have been raised up by God to be the church, and church is actually ecclesia. Ecclesia is like soldiers and people who are in authority to determine the destiny of a certain city or nation. So basically, I'm just applying what I learned from the scriptures, that we need to be doing that in our business, in our profession, in our ministry, and in everything. So I'm also like an activist. Yes. I just do whatever it takes. I'm a father.
Yes.
I'm a husband.
Yes.
And so I just do whatever it takes to really see the advancement of His kingdom on this earth.
What I love about you too is you don't just talk about it, you do it. You have a magazine called New City Magazine. Tell us a bit about that and what you're doing with that.
Well, with anything, it starts in the spirit first.
Yes.
A business starts in the spirit first. Stock market is basically the spirit of fear. Is actually speculations.
Yes.
It's all spiritual, and once we start in the spirit, we have to follow it up with the natural. Yeah. So we've been praying for a new city, a new Sydney, a new Brisbane, a new Australia, because we want a nation that is from above, and not just humanistic and evil society, but we want the plan of God, the blueprint of God over our cities and over our nation. But praying is one thing, but what do we do in the natural? So whatever we have started in the spirit, we have to follow it up in the natural.
Absolutely.
So that's why I was thinking, God, what can we do? So we've been praying, declaring over a new city. So why not? Because my background is advertising, marketing, and also publishing. So I thought, why not make a free magazine like those ones that you find for free and on the street magazine, new city, and actually declaring a new city over our cities.
Yes.
And it's the alternative to the negative media and the slutty and rubbish media that's out there, but where people can find hope, encouragement, and how to lose weight, how to be healthy, how to be really good in business, and how to have the right investments, and how to persevere over hard times, and how to have hope, encouragement, how to have a great family, how to have a great marriage, and all the fun stuff like motoring, fashion, and food. And so we have to have an alternative. Yes. We cannot just protest. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. What are we going to do about it?
Yes.
So we have to find an alternative.
Yeah. As you know, Ben, my daughter came home last night with a Dolly magazine, and she was just flicking it through next to me, and I looked at it and said, I think you better not read that. You need to give that to your mum first before. I mean, there's sealed sections, and my daughter's 12. We want to protect her purity in that sense. And that's what I love about your magazine. It gives people an opportunity to read something that is uplifting and doesn't degrade them and bring them down.
And what I'm really proud of is that it's not a Christian magazine. That is for everyone, because everyone needs the truth. Everyone needs righteousness. Everyone needs purity. Everyone needs what we have. So we cannot just and classify it as Christian only for Christian people, and only Christian people will read it. But we want to be the salt to stop the salt of this world, to stop the decay of this world. We want to be the light of this world, to shoo away the darkness that is in this world.
One of the other things you talked about this morning was we need as Christians to stop protesting. And I know we've shared over the last couple of days about Protestants are protesters, like that's where it came from. So you've taken a march in Sydney, the Easter March, and turned it into an Easter parade.
That's right.
Tell us about that change and your plans for the future with that.
Well, I really want to give honor to those who started the march, because if the march didn't start, the parade will not have been there. Fusion has started a great work in Malgarvan and with a few pastors like Phil Pringle, and they started the whole thing, and the Jesus March. And in the early 90s, I wasn't there, but I heard over 50,000 people march.
Huge things,
But that was during those days where the anti-Vietnam War protests, so people marched. And even if we listen to some of our mature families, they were talking about marching to protest. But I believe that time is past, that we need to be more relevant to the now generation, because if not, only those older people will march, but the younger people, they probably cannot relate to that. Why is that? Why do we have to march? But I really believe that we need to make a public stance and a public declaration that Jesus is risen on Easter Sunday. It's not about chocolates, it's not about bunnies.
No.
And so we have more of a reason to celebrate than those other paraders, if you know what I mean.
That's right.
And we really need to make a public declaration and remind Sydney and Australia that Easter is about the resurrection of Christ, the hope of the faith that we have. And so therefore we changed the whole idea into a parade and of celebration. And our vision is to make it to be one of the biggest or more popular parades in Sydney and in our nation. So, it went really, really well. The atmosphere was electric. There was sounds of celebration, marching bands, and people in animal costumes. We had giant inflatables like Noah's Ark, the size of a room. And we had butterflies on stilts. And this guy, Byron Bay guy, who's dancing on the streets, and we flew him in to dance really crazily. And we had people in all sorts of costumes, and so it was just a celebration. And we had 40 vertical flags, red flags, like army battle style, saying Jesus is risen. The message was clear, and over 1,000 people, I think around about 1,200 people paraded, and thousands more lined the streets just to watch us, and they were celebrating with us.
Excellent.
Amazing.
My prayer is that Sydney becomes known for that parade and not a certain other parade that is currently known for right now. So, Ben, but people can go online and see that. So if they just search Easter Parade in YouTube?
Yeah, in YouTube, you can just search Sydney Easter Parade 2012 official video. You would be able to see the official video. And if you go to Facebook, also facebook.com/Sydney Easter Parade, and also sydneyeasterparade.com.au.
Ben, how do people get in touch with you? Because I know that for out of this morning, they want to. Do you have your own website?
I have my own website, which is sort of under construction still, but it's there. So they can just drop me a message on my website, benirawan.com. So BENIRAWAN.com.
Check him out on Facebook. He's a huge social media guy. But that's great, because you're having a huge impact in our nation from everything you do. So well done. It's been great to have you here. Encourage those watching to go online to our Facebook site, Brisbane CBD CBN, and you'll see the links through there to the message this morning.